Miguel.
Hi.
You're out.
Yeah. Prosecution called my lawyer. They cut a deal. She thinks they uncovered something they didn't want people to hear in court.
Welcome back. And now we have Antonio Jaramillo here with us today. And you've seen him on Devious Maids, Dallas, and you've seen him in J-Lo's Shades of Blue as the baby daddy. And now you're going to see him in Notorious coming up soon. He's going to tell us all about it, right? Welcome, Antonio.
Hello. Hi, ladies. How are you? Nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. We're so excited to have you here. And we want to know a little bit about what prompted you to be an actor.
It was rather an accident, really.
And also where you grew up.
I was born in Tijuana, Mexico. And I was there for most of my childhood. And then I moved to San Diego when I was a teenager. I was about 15 or so. I went to San Diego to find some relatives and reconnected with family, blah, blah, blah. Make a long story short, the theater found me. I was a troubled young man, and I didn't know where I was going to go or how to go because, growing up in an orphanage was not easy. But the theater found me, and it gave me tools to be a better human being and to understand those around me better. So I stayed in the theater learning on stage. I was like, wow, this is really cool. It's making me a better person, understanding my fellow, human being. And then things just kept progressing. And then I got opportunities to do more stage work. And then later I was hired here at the Geffen to work at the Geffen Playhouse in Brentwood. And then other things came up, TV shows, movies, and here I am.
And I knew about you, the first time I heard about you was when you did a movie with my husband, Enrique Garcia, which was shot in the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
But so you became an actor, and what was your first gig?
My first gig, well, I did a lot of gigs on stage that people wouldn't know because stage comes and goes and it's just in people's memories because it's not recorded. But my first role on the screen, I think it was Veronica Mars. I did like a small little thing for Veronica Mars. And then after that, it was, I think, Charm. I did Charm. And then other shows, all the CSIs. And
I'm sorry, I really need to ask you about the orphanage because I think that's something that a lot of people don't really talk about out in the open. People that have experienced that have had great success. Tell me about that experience and what can you tell us that a lot of people may not know about what it's like to live in an orphanage? Because we, especially in this country, we kind of relate it to Little Orphan Annie, or we make it seem maybe not as bad as it is. So tell us, what was that like for you?
We have to make it a 1 hour special.
Okay.
No. It's, first of all, I like to get it out in the open right away because sometimes people know and then they surprise me, so I just come out and say it.
Right.
It helps me because it wasn't easy and it wasn't pleasant, but it is what it is. It's the life that was given to me, and here I am now. I'm grateful. And I like to say it in case there's other kids out there that come from an orphanage or a foster home and they have no aspirations to be anything because they have no role models. Mm-hmm. So it's good to say these things because then they look at you and they go, oh, maybe if I work hard, if I have the discipline to find something I like and learn and get focused, I can actually do something in life. Because, kids need role models,
right.
Good parenting. And coming from an orphanage, I don't blame my parents. It's just difficult situations for them. They were young and they couldn't take care of the kids. So I'm in an orphanage and I had a place to sleep and food, but it wasn't Disneyland.
Right.
And then you got to work with J-Lo.
Yes, and then that was it. And then she found out I was in an orphanage and she said, bring him to me.
She wanted to adopt you. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
Wait, so you say that acting found you, right?
Yes.
So when you started acting, did you feel it was going to be a hobby, or did you think you were going to get this far?
It was never really a hobby either. It was something that was actually helping me be a better person. Because, like I said, I was a troubled young man, and I was very defensive.
Right.
Angry. Angry. Right. So everything was like lashing out, either physically or verbally.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so the theater taught me things that make me a better person. I said, this is good. It was like therapy without knowing I was in a therapist session.
I guess you had to understand each character and humanize them, and I guess you can apply that in real life.
Well, it helped me when I was reading the roles and playing another human being, and being able to use me and open up. But with the shield of using the role. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I could be open and do anything because I'm playing this role and I'm learning and I'm moving and blah, blah, blah. And I just liked it. And now it's become my profession, my way of life, and I'm very grateful for the life I have. I've had great opportunities. I mean, playing baby J-Lo's baby daddy and Shades
But
of Blue.
seriously, tell us about working with J-Lo.
Oh, right.
Is there any chisme that you would like to share?
There's a lot of cheeses. I could tell, but
Baby daddy. Baby daddy has a
You
lot
paying
of
child
chisme.
support?
oh gosh, yeah, child support is expensive. Yeah. No, we had a great time. We had good chemistry on the show. People really enjoyed our work together, and it was a great time on set. It was a wonderful experience for me, really, because I know so many people wanted this role, and for them or for her to choose me over so many other actors. So it's a privilege, really, to work with her. I admired her. She's such a workaholic. She's so professional. She's so successful in so many fields in our industry, and a role model for so many young women. So it was a tremendous experience.
And is she? Does she talk normal? I mean, is she a diva? Like what? What is it like to be around the Jennifer Lopez universe?
I just saw her as the character she was playing in the show in my relationship to her.
Right.
So even though there was paparazzi around her all the time and security or whatever, I don't get that interfere with my work. I can only see her as my the mother of my child, and
Right.
and me being her baby daddy and working things out in the show as it pertains to the story. So I try not to let those things interfere. The same way that when I was working with Benicio on Savages and Oliver Stone, I mean, I have so much respect for Oliver Stone and Benicio. I look up to him. I mean,
Right.
really, he's one of the actors I really, really like. But I couldn't look at him as from the outside. I had to just see him as the role he's playing in the movie and his relationship to me. That's the only way that I can work. Otherwise, I get old.
That's very professional.
And there's another meaty role that you prepared. You play a narco, right?
No, cartel leader.
Yeah,
A cartel leader.
There's
which
a-
is
there's a
like
difference.
The big daddy of the narcos.
big daddy.
Tell me about that role. And did you have any kind of reservations because of what our president-elect has been saying about Latinos or Mexicans specifically being, drug dealers and rapists? Did you have any reservations about taking on a role that perpetuates this stereotype?
That's a very good question, because when I was doing the role, I was actually trying to interpret a lot of the things that Mr. Trump said, but turn them over on their head, to show maybe a little more charm, a little more humor, something else that is not expected. I always try to humanize these roles. To me, it's challenging, but it's also they're a person. They're somebody's son. They're somebody's husband. They have kids. They're somebody's friend. I mean, they were a child once. So I try to go deeper into the psychology of the human being and what made them lead that kind of life.
I have a question about, you've done so much, TV, theater, and film and all. What is it that you haven't done that you want to do in the industry, in your career?
I've been writing lately because I think our own community, Latinos, we have to produce our own projects.
Right.
Because there are a lot of opportunities that we don't get. And we don't get, when we get certain opportunities, they're limited. They're very general.
Yeah.
Like these narco characters. You read
Or
them and you're-
stereotyped.
Yeah, stereotyped. You read them and you're like, come on, we
It's
can
so
do better
typical,
than this.
right.
It's
But
like
then
they're
you-
rewriting the same script
Yes.
over and over
But
again.
then you read
Yeah.
who wrote it, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I get it.
Right.
They're still stuck in so we have to produce our own projects. So I'm doing a little writing so that I can possibly in the future produce and write my own stuff.
What's your mantra for success? What's the tidbit that kind of keeps that train going? I mean, when you wake up in the morning, it's not easy for humans to wake up in the morning.
I'm going to say something that's very personal, but I will say it because it came to me and I have to be truthful to myself and say it. But if I have to say what mine is, it's a sense of self-identity. I need to identify myself because of where I was left. So I'm still always constantly identifying myself, not only as a man, but as a Mexican man in this country where I'm seen as a second best human being or whatever. So it's self-identity. I think just be disciplined. Find something you like.
Right.
And just be very disciplined and focused, and it'll take time, but just do it. Just do it. I mean, That's what I do.
And you did
That's
it, and you're
beautiful.
doing it.
Thank you, Antonio, for joining us. Make sure you catch him on Notorious on December 8th on ABC. And now for our next guest, Didi Garcia Blaze. She is former military, and she's also a political beast. Yes, she has formed groups. She was a former Republican, then she went independent, and then she was a fervent Hillary supporter. She's going to tell us all about that because she's in the know when it comes to politics. Stay tuned.